Target practice! How to hit the right notes over the right chords! Today we're talking about target tones and how to use them. Target tones are just notes that help spell out the harmony of a chord progression. If we're working through chord changes, target tones would be chord tones that help solidify those chord changes to the listener. In this video, we're gonna learn how to identify target tones and learn exercises that you can use them for tons of chord progressions in any key, anywhere on the neck, and use it right away. If you're a Patreon member, you have access to this full video, which includes bonus chord progressions, bonus caged positions, and all that good stuff. If you're not, don't worry, you have access to this video, which you're still gonna get a ton of value out of, and you are gonna learn this concept and be much better off for it. So, target tones. Really chord tones, but it has a little bit of this connotation of voice leading, right? Where we're moving from one chord to the next, and we have these notes that spell out the chords. We're moving from one chord tone to another chord tone, and we're doing that as smoothly as possible. And if we're doing that in our improvisation, that's a good thing. So, we're talking about our roots, our thirds, our fifths, and our sevenths. Just to give you a quick example, let's take a blues progression in A, that's A7, D7, E7. If we take our third of A7, and then move it to the seventh of D7, those would be considered target tones, right? And you can hear as I'm moving from one note in one chord to a note in the next, that's a smooth transition there. So that gives you a little bit of an example of chord tones that help spell out the harmony and move smoothly. What we're gonna do today is we're gonna take chord progressions and we're gonna play them all in one position and find these target tones and move them smoothly from one to the next. So first, we need to pick a chord progression. So right now, let's do a 1-4-5 progression in G. And like I said before, we're gonna use the cage system so we're all in one position. So we'll do G in the E shape, C in the A shape, and D in the C shape. So that's 1, 4 chord, 5 chord. So right here, because we're already playing a chord, essentially, we're only playing the notes of the chord. These are all technically target tones, but we're gonna look for the thirds of the chords. We're not playing any sevenths yet, so we'll just look for the thirds of these. We have B, right? And if we're used to these cage shapes, we can start to remember, okay, we know that this is a third of our chord because we know if we play a minor E shape, that's the only one that changes, right? This, that's our third, it's minor. That's minor there. Okay, so if I'm playing, so I was able to move between those thirds because I'm seeing this rather than just going single notes up and down. I'm seeing these as chord shapes in one position. Now I can do the same thing in another position. I'm playing G, now in the C shape, C in the E shape, D in the E shape, back here, right? And I would go, or D in the A shape even. So same thing there. I'm able to highlight these chord tones because I'm really mapping out the fretboard, only seeing chord tones over my progression, this little surfy. Right, and all I have are these arpeggios. Obviously, you still have your scale. And eventually you'll see those together, right? You won't have to be separated by like arpeggio and scale, but it's a great tool when you're first starting out to be able to arpeggiate these things. And I think as guitar players, we see things in this linear 3-note per string manner way more often than we should. Whereas like we're playing over chords, so the notes in these chords are gonna sound good, and we forget about that sometimes. Okay, let's take a progression that's a little, has a little more sauce to it. So I picked Where Is My Mind by the Pixies. So we've got E, C sharp minor, G sharp, and let's make this a G sharp 7 and an A major 7, C sharp minor 7. Just for fun. Okay, so we'll do that here in 4th position. E major in the C shape. C minor in the A shape. G7 in the E shape. And then we're here. So if with A major 7 in the E shape, right? So still pretty much in one position. So you can still hear those chords even when I'm just playing, just like messing around soloing. And that's the point, because I'm playing the chord changes, playing the changes, right? These are not like jazz changes, it's a Pixies song. But that's the point of target tones, right? Like we're spelling out chord changes as we're playing, and I don't have to think like, what are the notes of these chords? Because I have a little roadmap from the Cage system. That's like, you don't want to say that's cheat code, because it's not. Like, it's like saying, oh yeah, playing the notes of a song is a cheat code for sounding good. It's like, yeah, that's like having the right answer on a test is a cheat code for getting a good grade. Like, yeah, you could argue that, but does that make sense? We're playing the notes that are already there for us. So if we did this here, that's one position. We could do it in another position, right? Let's play same chords here. Now we have E in the G shape, C sharp in the E shape. What do we have next? G sharp in the A shape, A in the C shape. Okay, yeah, why not? Sure. So now using the same thing. And now we're in this like C sharp minor pentatonic box, same as E major pentatonic, right? So now we have all of these licks that every guitar player knows. So we can do our normal business, but we also have our arpeggiated target tone shapes spelled right out for us in the midst of our scale stuff that we know and love. So check this out. Imagine this progression behind us. and I'm really not thinking super hard. I'm not thinking necessarily about the notes. I'm not thinking note names, certainly, because I have these caged shapes. And that's the beauty and the simplicity of thinking about it in this manner. All right, that's the end of the YouTube. The rest is for my Patreon patriots. So, patriots, let's trudge forth. YouTubers, you are stopped by a wall of terracotta warriors. Continue to practice this and don't be afraid to take it really slow. You don't have to burn through arpeggios and crazy licks. Just try and hit target tones that sound good, and transitioning smoothly is the name of the game, right? Voice leading is good. So as you're doing this, try and add your own progressions. Think about some of your favorite songs. Try and do this over those progressions and make sure to do them in different positions. Don't just pick one position that you're really comfortable with. You want to be able to do this all around the neck so that you're not limited to one place. If you want to learn more about guitar, we're teaching a whole lot of that over on the Patreon. Join today, you'll get the full version of all of these video lessons, and you can hit me with any video requests. I'm happy to answer anything you need guitar related, and you can chat with me anytime over on the Patreon.